We've changed it to now weekly update. We were doing nightly, and then we were just forgetting.
No, we were doing nightly, and it got to the point where we would remember when we were going to sleep, and we have multiple videos of us just being like, "All right, this is video for night. Good night."
So we're gonna just do it for the week because much easier that way, I think. Where did we leave off? I can't remember the update from last time, but the overall how I felt this week, confident, I think would be the overarching word for going into this next week. And proud that I did something that I didn't think I would do. Me today doing like back to back workouts, doing legs and arms today, and metabolic on top. Cause I was gonna stop after when I came and waved at you in the pool. I was like, I'm just gonna rest. I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, I'll get on the treadmill. So I got on the treadmill. So proud of that too. So I feel good. That's me. How about you?
I don't know how good I felt this week. This week was like a weird week. It wasn't like it was a very imperfect week as far as like my health and fitness stuff, at least. Like I had a couple days where I just like did not eat enough food and was having a really hard time just eating. And I then was the stuff I did have to eat to get the calories was like not the best food. And then that ends up just being like a cycle where you're like still hungry. So then I overate a couple days. I don't know. I feel like it all kind of
Yeah,
balanced out.
I feel that.
There was like low days and some high days. So I think it's like balanced and fine, but I didn't feel like steady with it this week. Like I want my goal, I guess, for this next week is just to be a little bit more consistent with it, right? Like the whole idea behind consistency is that you're not consistent. Consistency isn't being perfect every day. It's not doing the exact thing you're supposed to do every single day because we're human and that's not ever possible. Consistency is just like regrouping and restarting. And that was one of those mindsets that I had, like the realizations I had when we started this of like everything I was doing in the past to lose weight was the right stuff. The only issue was that I stopped. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I was doing the right thing and then I would have a couple bad days and then I spiral and I blah, blah, blah. So
Did your bad days come, you think, like pretty quickly? Because like I'll be honest, I'm pretty shocked at the level of just like transfer. Because like, we've had this conversation before where you're like, no, I've tried dang near everything to lose weight. I'm like, okay, I believe you because it's obviously something close to you. But then like I watch you do this, and after really of like watching our diet 2 months, just the massive change. But I also know how your brain works when you think like a week. And if you don't see something, you get out of lockstep for about like 5 days. You're like, shoot, this is going to be
it's like you just get
improving.
like offset. Like if you're like trying to like walk in step with someone, you're like step by step by step, you know? And then you like stumble for a little bit. It's like that, oh, quick steps to catch up and trying to get back in rhythm again. Like that's kind of like the feeling that I used to let bother me. I used to then try and be like, "Ah, I'm not ever gonna get back to step," and then I just stop. But again, you literally the only way you fail is if you stop. And so, as long as when I feel like this,
Mm,
I'm still trying to figure out
old.
I'm still trying to figure out, like, what the best reaction to this is of, like, this week, I think I just needed to give myself grace a little bit. Like I said, I think it balanced out. I had low days and then some high days. I worked out. We had, like, 3 days that we didn't work out because of life things, but, like, we went and had a workout today. So even on a quote unquote bad week, I still overall on average, like, if you broke down on average calories per day, I think I'm still within my
You're
goals.
eating. Is that the biggest thing that's on your mind? And when we're doing the recap, is being better.
Yeah, I think that's, like, what is harder because then when I don't eat well, then I don't have the energy, I don't feel as good about going to the gym.
Yes.
The gym the gym, I'm less worried about, like, the gym, like, I had, like, maybe 3 good lift days this week, and because, like, our goal is 5, which is, like, pretty ambitious, like, working out 2, 3 times a week is, like, perfectly acceptable, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? So,
for sure.
like, if my goal is 5 and I try and do that, then the weeks where I'm not perfect and I only do 3 workouts, I'm fine with that. That I don't worry about. But the food, it always comes down to the food for me, like, that's what makes me more nervous, and when it starts losing the novelty or, like, I fall off that little, like, rhythm I have, then I never know if it's the right thing to, like, give myself more leeway for a little bit until I'm ready to fully hop back on or
Or like
to
tightening
just
down
grit it
that
and, like,
notches and stuff.
yeah, really just, like, buckle down
I
and
struggle with
force
that too.
myself to do it. I don't know.
I'm in the middle somewhere with it. I think that is tough because in one, I think you just can't let it. You want your?
No,
I don't think you can.
wait.
Oh, well, I think if you let it stay too much in one of those areas, it's not good for you. Like if you stay too much in the like, okay, well, for like you at least, I think it also varies upon personality. For you, it is not good to have the regimented every single day because like you go insane. Like it is good for you physically, the structure that like rigid structure, but you need some time to break out of structure because then you are good about getting returning to structure
I have been good, but I wouldn't
recently.
say, yeah. It's not like I am in general, but this was a newer thing for sure.
Okay, that's a new personality trait that's been unlocked perhaps for you.
Maybe.
Me, on the other hand, I don't I eventually need to break structure, but I think I can go for a longer period of time over, and that's just because I think of the military and
And I
all
think
the
for
stuff I do.
you, structure is actually better. Like having that like like it seems from the outside because I don't know, but from the
Yeah,
outside, like it feels better for you when it's just a given. This is what you do.
yeah, I would say so. It's less. It's definitely the better for my anxiety. I think that's one of the things I'm coming to accept. I have always like prided myself on being a very go with the flow person. But what I've realized for at least me that has a lot of that means like I have just been okay with having a lot of anxiety and going with the flow with things. I didn't want to be a problem or I didn't want to like speak up and be that person of like, actually, I think we should have like a plan maybe. And like that is a good trait that I developed because I can be that way. And it like,
That
there's point
resiliency with it. Yeah.
yeah, well, not only that, but like stuff, plans if things change, it just it genuinely doesn't. I can adapt pretty well to it, I think. But I strive like the best, or I not strive. I thrive the best in a structure. Like if I know what's happening per day, and it can for me, it can be the same thing every single day for a while. But then after a while, I like the break of structure as
Yeah,
well.
I feel like for you, the regimen of like 6 weeks heavy on and then taking like a week or
A week
two
off.
off, or not fully off, but like a week or two of like lax
Lags.
structure with it.
Yes.
And then, but I do think then getting back into the structure is important for you.
Yeah, because if I stay too long in the free state, my brain just goes, well, why don't we just do this all the time?
And it starts lacking and it starts,
I got caught in that phase for like 4 years of my life. So like that for me, that is the danger that I don't want to return to. Thank goodness I caught it early onset laziness, right? But and then I just decided, hey, I don't want to live this way. I don't want to be viewed as this person, not even by other people, just like
by
viewing that person
yourself.
as myself. And, I was at a point in life where I think I did need to take a break. I didn't give myself those breaks when I was younger and like just think about what I was doing. I was like, had a car sales job of the day, promoted Houston like nightlife promotion at night. I was trying to help Nevada with her career at one point. I was trying to do my own thing with Space City. Like I was just so focused on trying to just do these things. And I never really gave myself time to sit and analyze like why I was doing these things and give myself the necessary breaks. That's what I'm learning now with this job that West Shore has taught me. Because I think the mindset I was in with the car industry is like, if you take a day off in the car industry, it's kind of, they're like, you can, but like, you don't want to work, bro. With this job, they're like, take your time. Like, you have time off for a reason. Take your time off. And it's just because, like, you have the best performance, you have the best mindset when you find those things to do that can recharge. And I didn't know even what those were until I went back to like, I was like, you know, this one thing has worked for me my entire life. And then I stepped away from it for 3 years, working out, being fit, for attempting to be got anxiety, gained a ton of weight, had a bunch of like confidence issues, like stuff that came from it. But now getting back into like there's something just like deep inside me when I'm like have returned to the gym, and like now it's become like a habit. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know why I thought that anything else could substitute for this. And I think it's just because maybe I was, lost, a little heartbroken at the time, going and trying to just figure things out. I think I understand what they mean. Like people say now when older men say, like when I was a young man, it was like a struggle when I was figuring things out. It was like I never thought I really was during that time period, but like looking back on it now, I was like, yeah, dude, the things that I like now versus like what I liked or wanted to do then are pretty much a 180. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary for all men to go through that. I don't know if that's just like a canon event that even young people, not even just men, like that young people go through. 'Cause I feel like you were pretty similar, like going out trying to find yourself
Yeah, I
because we
think
met in that environment.
yeah. Yeah, I think for me, it was very much just breaking free from the things that I believed growing up and these ideas that I had, and then being out on my own and wanting just that pure freedom, and then realizing pure freedom doesn't bring happiness.
That's a big one. That's a really good insight too.
And then once I realized that, then it was like, shoot, if just straight freedom doesn't bring happiness, what does? And that process of figuring out what does, and like not even happiness maybe is the wrong word, fulfillment or like
I
satisfaction
think
in your
fulfillment
life.
is a better word for it.
But and then that so that was a good solid 5 to 10 years of me just like learning for myself what is fulfilling to me, what was blocking me from being fulfilled, like different like traumas and things I was holding on to, different like perspective shifts I had to make. And then once I broke free, funnily enough, so I thought just pure freedom of being able to do whatever you want was what I needed. But what I needed was the freedom of like having life is the freedom to mentally decide your perspective and how you're viewing things and how you're like approaching things. And that true freedom and that embracing that brings you more happiness than chasing happiness does.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing to think about. It when in pursuit so much of freedom and like the ability to do because you can, free will is a thing. You can do whatever you want. You can make whatever choices you want. But then, the
Choices have consequences.
consequences. I remember
Something
talking
he used to
about
say at the beginning of our would be like, "Is this gonna bother you if I do X, Y, and Z?" And he's like, "It won't bother me, but actions have consequences."
because like there's a difference between me being bothered and then like an answer that you're gonna ask me that I'm gonna have an answer for that you're not gonna like. That you're not gonna like my reasoning for the answer that I
Which
have.
my definition, when I say, "Is it bother you?" My definition of that
It didn't.
is this going to change something? And it was going to change something, but it didn't you didn't have feelings about it, but it was gonna change it, and that's what I meant by bother.
Well, yeah, and
Actions have
also,
consequences.
and it's also because I can say in the moment, yes, I don't think it's going to bother me. But then it's the caveat of like, I don't actually know if it will or not. I can say that now, but actions do have those consequences. Like, oh shit, I didn't like that. I thought I wouldn't care. I care. Shit.
Doesn't bother him, though. He's dead set on that point.
Well, and
That's
I mean, I think it proved that it didn't actually, but yeah, the freedom itself, like that freedom comes with anchors in other places in life that you didn't even know, because you're going out, you're exploring things, and then you're chained down to other things now in pursuit of that freedom. And the only thing that really severs those chains is like the structure of discipline.
and again, that's what
At least it was
it's
for us.
doing.
For the vices that we both had.
I still view it, though. I don't my goal is not discipline. Like, I just, like, don't jive well with the concept of discipline.
I know, and that's okay.
No, but, like, I do the same thing. I view it differently. And I don't know if this is like I truly think it's a masculine versus feminine difference of, like, it's masculine quality to be very disciplined and do the same things, and women can be masculine, have masculine quality, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
not saying women can't be disciplined. Plenty of women are very disciplined, but
yeah.
it is more of a masculine type quality to say, and I think the feminine version of that gets you the same results but feels different. That feminine version is devotion rather than discipline. So, like, if I am going to the gym because I have to, like, because this is discipline, this is what I
Yeah.
have to do, that is so much harder. I could still force myself. Wow.
Wow.
I can,
I could much more. Definitely.
I can still force myself too for a while, but it's a lot more draining on me than if I'm devoted to something. Like, if I am devoted to figuring out how strong I actually am. I'm devoted to doing the things I can to make myself feel better. I'm devoted to making my life better. Then that helps me reorient my decisions in the moment to be the things that are actually good and fulfilling and helpful and beneficial for me in the same way that discipline does, but I'm doing it for a different reason. I'm not doing it because I have to.
Sure.
I'm doing it because I want to, because this is the thing I want the most.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, and I think it's an interesting way to look at it because yeah, I view it as want end result, but I know there are going to be times and days and things where I absolutely, my brain tells myself, no, I don't want that end result as bad as I
Mhm.
want. So in the moments of like when I'm thinking, and I think this is why meditation, or maybe not even meditation, because you don't got to sit there and own, but like thinking about what it is you actually want, like having that time, not looking on like social media or this or that, like sitting with yourself and like,
Having these sit downs once a week, like that,
yeah,
that's the new goal of this. Like that, yes, it's for us to like talk about realizations and things, but it's like legitimately to bring up goals for the next week and like mindsets that we want to keep and recheck in with like why we are doing these changes and what's working,
yes,
what's not.
accountability is one of those things that I think that's actually like one of the like when we're talking about these ingredients of like in the pursuit of living a fulfilled life. If we had a tagline or motto for these talks, something of that nature, right? Because I don't know, like I
What's your tagline?
of what
Life?
for life. I don't
What do you
fucking
mean?
know.
Like
Like
that, what you just said.
no,
What
I
do
was saying
you,
I'm talking about for like these little episodes, like finding the ways to live a more fulfilled life. If there was like a tagline for like what this is, what we're doing right now,
oh, yeah.
like these talks are like
Our
us.
journey to a fulfilled life.
Right. I was trying to find a tagline for that. Tagline is I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I should probably read a book. Like that's kind of where, or I'm very, like I said, still interested in
We
stoic
write our
philosophy.
own book with the experiences of our life.
I mean, when we're probably like 50 or 60, maybe we gotta live more life.
No, I just mean like we're writing our own book. What if you wrote a book about you?
Right now,
That's a no. That's a book. That's a story that I read to Solomon when he was a baby.
I'm so confused.
What?
Ab-
There's a book. There's a
about
child.
me.
No, okay. There's a child's story that is titled "What Would You Do in a Book About You?"
Oh, okay, I already hate it.
And it's the basic concept of it is that we are writing our own book
Well,
through
yeah.
life. Like you're writing your own
Yes.
experiences and you're choosing your own
What?
adventure.
You are. No, it's not you. You didn't come up with the concept, so I'm not making fun of you. Whoever had this brilliant revelation,
It's a
but
really cute book.
I don't doubt it.
It's like a little fantasy. It has like, what would you do in a book about you? Would you be a
Basically, say they can do kind of whatever they
mermaid
want.
or this or that? Like it's unwritten. You can write a book about you and a book about you.
That's the beauty of use because you have more pages available to write your story.
We still
It-
have a lot of pages.
I know we're pretty young. I don't know why I feel so old,
I don't actually no, I do. I swear I felt the same thing right up until I was 30.
and then it's
And then
like
you hit 30 and then it's like, oh,
really,
like,
yeah.
oh,
I'm
because like
29.
you
It's my
that
last year of my 20s.
impending, yes, that impending thing of like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in my 30s. And like my mindset, my wow.
She lost the ability to speak. Fuck.
If in your 30s, you will no longer be able to talk
You
appropriately.
just have mini strokes every couple of seconds.
I I do have mini strokes a lot. I just
I
like
know.
he's concerned about my brain health.
I
I'm gonna start taking ginkgo root. That's a new supplement that I have
You
looked
fix my
into.
hair. You make it look better.
I don't know how to do.
Yeah, that was good. You did good. See, look, looks way
You
better.
did good, kid. Okay.
Thank you. Man, I wish it looked like this for the whole video.
This is one of those things that the small little fixes I could do when we first started dating. And he was
Oh
just so
God.
used to being uncomfortable. Like he was laying in the bed at one point and the pillow was like tucked in weird. And he's like, I was like, are you uncomfortable? He's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm like, can I just, and I like fixed the pillow. It took 0.2 seconds, adjusted it. And he's like, oh,
That is better.
this is so much better. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
The little tweaks that we could make for each other that it's like, well, yeah, just do it this way.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe, yeah, it's interesting. I think most of life is just suffering, and it's just like you just got to do it. It's like there's really no
The difference of discipline.
maybe or what nihilism. No, I think there's a purpose. I just think I don't know what the term necessarily be. I think it is more like based in that stoic philosophy. Whenever I was like, you hear Chris Bumstead, shout out, talk about things, and he is like a pretty, staunch purveyor of, and representation of modern days, like a modern day stoic man, I would believe, right? It is that, like, the tale of Sisyphus, where he pushes that boulder up the mountain. He's, what, cursed to do that for all of eternity, and he finds the joy and pleasure in the work of pushing the boulder up the mountain forever and ever, right? And I think it is like, yeah, life is always going to be hard, even when you get like things in life can get easier, but then, like, the most immediate thing that great example that we were thinking of at one point is we just need to make money. Like if we just had a little more money back whenever like I was struggling, and it's like if I and then I got this job and we made money and we were eating out, we were living the good life, and we felt great whenever we wanted, go out and drink again like we had back when we were younger, and we just felt awful. And then it's like, okay, we fixed that hard, but our new hard is we want to feel good now. And like we were artificially doing that on certain nights, but then we would wipe out our weekends. I remember the first, like one of those first weekends where we went to like, we actually had a weekend and we cleaned and we went to like Barnes and Noble, we went to the gym, we read, and it was like, man, this was a super
That's
awesome
what we
weekend.
found because, like, we were so drained before that we'd go out, maybe had energy to go get drinks with friends, so alcohol, and then we'd feel awful the rest of the weekend, and we would just lay around and, like, play games, watch shows, not doing anything, and then we'd start Monday just as exhausted as we started the weekend.
Yeah.
And then when we actually trained our bodies to do more and include going out of the house, going to the gym, doing little dinner dates or doing like then we're active and we're doing stuff. And that now we go into Monday actually feeling refreshed and energized. Like there's a difference between rejuvenation and just straight rest.
Yeah, you were the start of all that too, because I was okay with that. Like I was just because me being okay with being super fucking uncomfortable, I was like, nah, I just have really bad anxiety. Like that's just the lot I drew in life. Or no, I'm just gonna feel this way all the time. Like that's just the lot I drew in life. Or my acid reflux that was like burning holes in my stomach in the middle of the night. And I was like, it's just the lot I drew in life. That's just what it is. And then you held me medicine, and I was like, oh, but then, like, it sparked me. I kept hearing you say, like, "I don't feel good." Like, we had objectively, did we have fun? Yeah, for, like, but you wouldn't remember some of it sometimes, or we just were like, "Was it really fun, or were we just drunk?" And then but, that's what really sparked, at least when I hearing you say those things, me going, because I just want to provide a good time for you, and that's for us to have a good time in life, genuinely, and feel good together in life. So I was like, taking her out and going and doing things like that is not making her feel good. I just always feel bad, so whatever. But she what can we do to make things feel good? And we tried. I remember us experimenting with like maybe you only drink this on this night, or maybe you only drink this, or maybe it's because of mix the Red Bull with this, or maybe try this. And it was just like things, man, it's just the alcohol in general that's making me feel bad. Just like everyone says it.
So annoying.
It's so
That's right.
annoying that everyone else.
I think that's the thing is life is hard no matter what, but there are certain things that are almost always within your control. There are exceptions to that. Some people can't have a lot of things, but most people, it is in your control what you are choosing to eat and how you are moving your body in some respect. Can you do it perfectly? Maybe not with your life circumstances, but like
It's just
you
harder
can
for you.
control certain things. And if there are things that we can do that make your life easier that you can control, why wouldn't you? And I do think it's really easy to slip into that like, and you're not even you were in, like, the acceptance of the misery, like, you don't even know how bad you feel until you stop feeling so bad, and you're like, "Oh, that's what I was
That's where
feeling
I
all
feel
the
now. Like,
time."
what the fuck was I thinking? Like, and this is still a very like, mind you, this is still a very new, like for us, this mindset shift was what, like 3 months
3
maybe,
months.
like a quarter. So I know we're talking a lot right now, but this is
No,
mainly
I
just
feel like I don't this isn't a new thing for me, I guess, like, it's a new thing to find success in it and to, like, have it but, like that things clicked into place, but this has been, like, something I've been doing trial and error for like 10 years. And it's just like
What, trying to feel good, or what do you mean?
trying to feel good, trying to like be better, healthier in our bodies and just like make life less hard.
Oh, mine is the like, 'cause I know the things to do. Mine was just I didn't care anymore, and now I care again. Like I have a
Yeah.
like I just didn't like I didn't care how I felt. I didn't care what like this is. I was just like, this is life. I'm gonna just make my way through. I'm gonna find my happiness in my
But yeah,
whatever,
I
whatever.
think the mindset I was slipping in for a little bit, it was hard because I had I had, like, come to terms with the fact that I had difficulties with, like, ADHD and depression and, like, touch of the tism for it, like, there's these external things in my brain that make things harder, and for a while, I almost let that slip me into, like, a victim mindset of, like, "Well, these things are just hard for me. They're just hard that way, therefore, I am not going to be good at them." But again, ultimately, we are responsible for our own lives. Ultimately, we the only way your life is gonna get better is if you do the things that you can control to make it better, right? And so, like, me sitting there being like, "Well, I have ADHD," or, "Oh, well, I have these issues, therefore I can't," and being the victim of those things feels so much more awful than recognizing, yes, these things are still true. Yes, they make it infinitely harder at certain times, but if I can push through that, then I still can make my life better, and I still have some level of control over that. Like, that is equally a, like, amazing, relieving feeling and terrifying because we're in control of it.
So you're so you are
So
in
we're
control.
we're in control of it.
Yeah, that is. So I think that is a long-winded way of saying next week what I want to focus on
Yes.
is, for me at least, I think one of the important things to talk about and just like helping with my advancement is getting all of my stats and stuff in order to send to my cousin Lisa. We've been talking about it for a little bit. I know she's serious. My mom brought it up again today. She's like, she would love to help me with that. And I was like, okay,
By the
uh,
time we make this video next Sunday, we will have that
have
done.
that done and sent to her so that either that part can get started. And then I think right now I'm gonna have the discipline to try to not add, because I want to do. There's like, after going and seeing Obsession yesterday, it sparked a lot for me to like want to just like jump back into a lot of different things. 'Cause you know how I get whenever I'm like sparked by like inspiration. I'm like, let's just write again. Let's get the acting in. And I decided I do want to pursue acting again. And I've already told you this. This has been something I'm working on. One of the whys of going to the gym and trying to be disciplined with that is to get back in shape before being on camera in pursuit of getting signed by an agency. I will sit here and say that I would love to be a superstar. That'd be great living that lifestyle, but I'm very content with just doing it for the purposes of like I can earn a living and not have to work a traditional 9 to 5 job. If I could make my like an acting or commercial acting or some type of in the arts creating replace my income now, that would be, I would view that as a life win, like a big life win. So trying to like hammer out a path to that. And the first step of that is getting in as good of shape as I can. There's a big event that comes next year in May, end of May, called Agent Review, that my old agency that they do every year. They fly in agents around the world to come in and want like you audition in front of them. So gonna really be focused on looking good for that, and then toward latter half, closer to that, practicing monologuing again. But that's in
So for
control.
this week, definitive thing to do would be getting your stuff over to Lisa.
That's the definitive thing this week.
And then the why is to get back in shape for
The why for is like my discipline going to the gym is all for that. My only really definitive thing this week to then be like continue on the path that I am with the gym, be consistent with that, you know, be better this week about actually counting my calories. I didn't do like I counted my calories, but I wasn't as disciplined this week with it. So getting back to doing that, trying my best to work out like on the days I'm supposed to and not do like a full body day
Mhm.
today. Just tighten it up a little bit more. I didn't slip too hard, but I think eating more and more often and better so that
You
I
should
can
get
keep my
some My
energy
Fit
up.
Foods.
Yes. Yes, that's a good idea. just so I can feel good, perform my job well, perform in the gym well, so that these long term goals can happen. And then I did decide if I'm going to stay at this job for a longer period of time, I want to try to move to the corporate sales training route, get good enough to become a corporate sales trainer, which would just have us move to Dallas.
So they're the long term goals, but the short term things are what
Short
we
term,
want to focus on. Get
focus
the stuff
on
done by next Sunday.
Lisa,
Send to Lisa, and then just try and
just keep
lock
going
in
to the
on
gym.
tracking calories.
Just getting, tightening down on the things like the gym, that nutrition stuff. Those are my goals. Not adding too many extra things.
No, I think that's good. Mine, I want to try at least to be active every day. So, like, if there is a day that I can't go to the gym, because our gym schedule's a little wonky right now
Yeah.
because we can't go until 8 when the kids center opens, but then I have like things right at 9 or he has to leave and it's just hard.
Yeah.
But then I also can go in the evening. So finding just every day doing something active. So, like, if I can't go to the gym on a given day, either take a walk or do something active with Solomon. So, trying to kinda lock back in on doing that. And then, yeah, the nutrition for me is just eating more, actually. Because what happens is I have a couple days where I don't eat enough because I just don't wanna eat food. And then my body is, like, super hungry. So then I have a couple days of just I'm
Over.
craving everything and I want everything. It's so much harder. But I avoid that if I consistently give myself the nutrients, the protein, and enough calories. So, that's my goal is to eat enough calories every day and see if that alone stops the overeating
Yeah.
days.
Cool. I think it was a good 40-minute video.
And no,
I misread
he
that.
won't do it. You won't do
I'm not
it.
gonna do it
He's
now.
not gonna do it.
But I love you. We had a good week. We're gonna
Yes.
have a good week next week. And I'm gonna be a night now.
Thank you guys for joining us. If you want to see our weekly little updates, go ahead and follow. And if there's any,
We gotta come up with like an official name for whatever this is.
if you have name ideas, leave in the comments.
There's
Do you have
some
anything that
official
we
ideas.
like questions for us about like how we're handling things or what our mindset is or like what some of the shifts we've made to kind of get to where it's not feeling as hard? Leave that in the comments also.
Yeah, and mind you, we are very new. Like we are new. You're not new to this as far as
I
like
mean,
even trying it, but our mindset that we're in now together is a new experience because I've never really had some like a partner like on the same
yeah, it's really
page
cool
as
being able to
me
do it.
with this. So at least for me, like having this together with you, it's
Mhm.
been very encouraging, but it's also a new experience. So we're still trying to figure out the best way to optimize
Ooh,
this.
that's something I want to talk about next time is that idea of newness and how we're all just trying to find newness and how that is what I'm finding in the gym. Like it's new experiences.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you today. What you told me about the leg press.
Oh, yeah. I did leg press and I got 320 today. Like, I was able to add up to that, and I was like, "Oh, wow, that's awesome because 320 is my body weight." So, like, I can actually finally squat my body weight, and then I was thinking about it, I was like, "I can do more squats than I could bend like, leg press that." So, like, that's probably and then but the actual machine is 100 pounds. So, I'm at 420 for my leg press, went up on that.
Awesome.
And then my RDLs, I figured out a trick for my grip strength, my hand grip on it, and was able to do 45s on either side for that today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's cool seeing the gains, like of strength wise in the gym, feeling stronger, feeling a little like my forearm definition getting better and stuff like that. It's just cool getting back to was that faith? Okay. It's cool getting back to feeling like an athlete again for myself. So
we also don't know how to wrap things up. Sorry. We don't anytime we're like, "Okay," like, I do this on the phone all the time with my friends. "Alright, goodbye." Did I talk then you have to be like, wrap it up.
we may as well just reach the 40-minute mark now because we're at 39 and 55.
6, 4, 3.
Two.
I did jump from 6 to 4. I understand that's not the numbers. Goodbye.